The war room fell silent as the Krell commander stepped through the airlock. His exoskeleton gleamed under the harsh lights of the human vessel, chitinous plates scarred from 1,000 battles. Behind him, his honor guard stood at attention, their plasma rifles humming with barely contained energy. Jasmine didn't flinch. She stood at the center of the room, hands clasped behind her back, her posture relaxed yet commanding. Her uniform bore no insignia of rank. She didn't need them. Everyone in this sector knew who she was. "You're younger than I expected," the Krell growled, his translator converting the clicking mandibles into rough English. "The stories made you sound older." "Stories have a way of adding years," Jasmine replied calmly. "You must be Commander Thexol. Your reputation precedes you." The alien's compound eyes glittered with something that might have been amusement. "I've killed hundreds like you, human. Commanders who thought they were special. Warriors who believed their species' myths about resilience and determination." He took a step closer, his massive frame towering over her. "You all die the same way." Jasmine smiled then, a cold expression that didn't reach her eyes. "Then you've been practicing for me." The tension in the room crystallized. Harry, standing at his tactical station to Jasmine's right, felt his hand drift toward his sidearm. He'd served under her for 3 years, fought beside her through the Proxima campaign and the defense of New Terra. He'd seen that smile before, always right before she did something impossibly reckless that somehow worked. Thexol's mandibles clicked rapidly. Laughter, Harry had learned. Brave words. "But bravery is common among your kind. It's why you die so easily." "Is that why you requested this meeting?" Jasmine asked. "To tell me how easily we die?" "Because your fleet is currently surrounded by 17 of our ships and your supply lines have been cut for 3 weeks. Doesn't seem like we're dying all that easily right now." The Krell commander's posture shifted, his armor plates rustling, a temporary setback. "The Krell Empire has conquered 47 species across 12 star systems. Humanity will be the 48th. 47 species," Jasmine repeated, walking slowly around him in a circle. "All of them more advanced than us when you first encountered them. The Vex had quantum computing. The Dreth had gravity manipulation. The Solari could manipulate dark matter." She stopped in front of him again. "Want to know what they all had in common?" Thexol said nothing, but his honor guard shifted uneasily. "They were peaceful," Jasmine continued. "They'd evolved past conflict. They'd built utopias. And when you came with your ships and your plasma rifles, they didn't know how to fight back. Not really. Not in their bones." Her voice hardened. "But humans. Commander, we've been killing each other for 10,000 years. We've perfected it. Refined it. Made an art form of it. And right when we were finally getting tired of it, right when we were starting to look up at the stars and dream of peace, you showed up." She leaned forward slightly. "You gave us a common enemy. You reminded us what we're really good at." Harry watched the Krell commander carefully. The alien's breathing had quickened, his posture more defensive now. "Good," Jasmine was getting to him. "I've studied every battle you fought," Thexol said, his voice tight. "Every tactic, every strategy. You're predictable, human. You rely on aggression and sacrifice. You throw bodies at problems until they're solved. Is that what you think you've learned?" Jasmine asked. "Then you haven't been paying attention. Yes, we're aggressive. Yes, we sacrifice. But that's not what makes us dangerous." She gestured to Harry, to the crew around them. "What makes us dangerous is that we adapt. Every time you face us, we're different. We learn, we evolve. Not over generations, Commander. Over weeks. Days sometimes." She pulled up a holographic display between them. "You've killed hundreds like me? Let me show you something. These are the survival rates of human commanders over the last 2 years. First year, 30%. Second year, 65%. This year, 83%. We're getting better at not dying, Commander. Can you say the same?" Thexol stared at the numbers, his mandibles still. "Here's what's going to happen," Jasmine said, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. "You're going to take your fleet and leave this system. You're going to tell your empire that humanity isn't worth the cost. Because every day you fight us, we learn from you. We take your technology, your tactics, your weapons, and we make them better. In 5 years, we'll be your equals. In 10, we'll be at your doorstep. In 20, she smiled again. Well, let's not find out." The silence stretched for long seconds. Finally, Thexol's armor plate settled into a configuration Harry had learned meant resignation. "You're offering terms," the Krell commander said. I'm offering survival, Jasmine corrected. Your fleet leaves. We keep this system. In exchange, you live to fight another day. And maybe your empire gets to avoid learning just how far humanity can take the art of war. Thexal looked at her for a long moment, his alien features unreadable. Then slowly he inclined his massive head. I will convey your terms to the Empire. Smart choice, Jasmine said. As the Krell delegation turned to leave, Thexal paused at the airlock. You know, human, if circumstances were different, I think I would have enjoyed killing you. Jasmine's smile was genuine this time. Commander, if you'd tried, you would have learned what those other hundreds couldn't. We don't just fight to win. We fight to make sure you never want to fight us again. The airlock sealed behind them. Harry let out a breath he didn't know he'd been holding. Do you think he'll actually leave? Jasmine watched the Krell shuttle depart through the viewport, her reflection ghostly in the glass. He will. Because he's smart enough to know the difference between hundreds of practice rounds and the real thing. And if he's not? Harry asked. She turned to him, and in her eyes Harry saw the same determination that had carried humanity through 2 years of brutal warfare. The same fire that had turned a species of scattered colonies into a unified force that made the galaxy's greatest conquerors think twice. Then we remind them why they should have been.